Hey, Rachel, Dr. Shawn Talbot here. Thanks a lot for submitting your question about insulin resistance and the mental fitness diet. So, I won't read the whole question because it was a little bit long. I'll just kind of summarize it, and I'm going to answer it here in a video because the answer is a little bit complicated. So, I figured I'd use a video to unpack some of the details for you. So, insulin resistance is this idea of your body being resistant to insulin. That's the hormone that helps with blood sugar control. And if you're resistant to that, your blood sugar control is not going to be great because your body can't sort of hear that signal. The other side of that is insulin sensitivity, which we'll get into. The mental fitness diet that we talk about in this book and that we talk about in the certified mental wellness coach course absolutely helps with insulin resistance. And the reason that we know this is because over the years, we've done a number of different clinical trials where we've put people through that way of eating, the mental fitness diet way of eating, even though it's not a diet per se. And over 4 weeks and 6 weeks and 8 weeks, depending on the iteration of it, we've seen improvements in their blood sugar control. So blood sugar levels go down around 20%, depending on the person, depending on the particular intervention that we did. But 20% is a pretty meaningful amount in a pretty short amount of time, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And it's so meaningful that, people who have better blood sugar control at that degree, they have an easier time losing weight. They have better appetite control. They're not sort of, craving and munching on things all the time because their appetite is a lot better. People who are taking diabetes medications and start eating that way will have to either stop taking their diabetes medications or go to a much, much lower dose of their diabetes medications because their body's doing a better job of naturally managing their blood sugar control because their insulin sensitivity has improved. So 20% improvement in blood sugar levels, but then we see all kinds of other things. We see people losing weight around their midsections. We see their cholesterols going down. We see their triglycerides going down. We see their cortisol levels going down, which I'll talk about in just a second. So short answer, yes, mental fitness diet could be considered an insulin resistance kind of a diet, or what is sometimes referred to now as a diet that helps to improve metabolic health. When you hear somebody talking about metabolic health, it's almost always insulin balance and blood sugar balance and those sorts of things. But it's not just about insulin. And the people who talk about insulin resistance these days are mostly talking about cutting carbs. And that can be a good thing if the kind of carbs that you're cutting are highly processed foods, junk foods, refined carbs, all the whites, the white flour, the white bread, the white pasta, anything that's highly refined carbohydrate. But by all means, get that stuff out of your diet. But if you mistake that carb cutting lingo for cutting out whole grains or cutting out fruits or cutting out vegetables, you're actually going to do yourself a disservice. You might have a short-term improvement in insulin sensitivity and a short-term improvement in overall blood sugar control, but over time that's going to go away. Those benefits are going to recede because by cutting the wrong kinds of carbs, your fruits and veggies and whole grains, you're actually starving the good bacteria in your gut. Those are the kinds of food that your good bacteria in your microbiome thrive on. That's their source of nourishment. And they will use that to make neurotransmitters so that we're happier. And they'll use that to make short chain fatty acids, which also manage blood sugar levels. And they'll use that to improve gut integrity so you don't have leaky gut and you don't have the problems that come with leaky gut in terms of your immune system and things like that. So by cutting out the wrong carbs and going on, just a meat and sausages diet, that's going to maybe give you a short-term benefit, but long-term, it's actually going to be bad for you. So what the mental fitness diet does is it recommends plenty of lean proteins, your fish and your there's vegan sources, there's animal sources, there's all sorts of things in there. But the base of that mental fitness diet pyramid is fruits and vegetables and spices. A little higher up, you've got some dairy products. A little higher up means a little bit less in terms of volume. You're getting some red meat in there, but it's all in balance. It's basically based on the Mediterranean diet, but it's also based on the Blue Zones diet. diets and the Okinawan diet and the Scandinavian diet and all these traditional diets around the world. And in those parts of the world, people who eat that pattern of eating not only have better insulin resistance, better metabolic health, they have lower heart disease, they have lower Alzheimer's, they have lower cancer, they have lower mental wellness problems like depression and anxiety, they live longer. And those are all the kinds of things that I think people want to get with a diet that helps them with insulin resistance. But by focusing on it from this perspective of the mental fitness diet, which focuses on your gut, but also focuses on your entire gut-brain axis, the additional benefit that you get, which is really the missing piece of the puzzle, is that you also get cortisol control. And so in our trials, we've been able to show that blood sugar levels go down, cortisol levels go down. If your cortisol levels, your body's primary stress hormone, if that's too high, that will actually lead to insulin resistance. So it's not just about, eating the, less carbs or the right kinds of carbs. You can become insulin resistant by not getting enough sleep. Anything less than 6 hours is going to put you in an insulin resistant state. Not moving your body effectively is going to put you in an insulin resistant state. Being stressed out is going to increase your cortisol, and that's going to block your insulin sensitivity, so you'll be insulin resistant. So the mental fitness diet isn't just about what to eat, it's how to eat. It's how to balance those macronutrients, the right kinds of carbs with the right kinds of proteins, with the right kinds of fibers and fats and things like that. So it really is a more comprehensive thing than just saying, like a lot of the social media people are saying right now, oh, just cut out your carbs and that's going to improve your insulin sensitivity and that's going to give you these benefits, usually for weight loss. It's a lot more than that. What you want to do is think about the gut-brain axis as an overall system, and thinking of it as a system and balancing it as a system. Your insulin resistance improves, your cortisol resistance improves. So you have good sensitivity with cortisol and good sensitivity with insulin, but then you've also got good signaling across the entire gut-brain axis in terms of your neurotransmitters and your short-chain fatty acids and your gut integrity and your immune system and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Rachel, you'll realize that that's exactly what we teach in the Certified Mental Wellness Coach course that you're a part of. So you can go back to some of those modules. Across all those 11 modules, some of them focus on the gut aspect of this. Some of them focus on the movement aspects of this. Some of them focus on the metabolism aspect of this. In fact, in those modules, I have some of the slides that we've used at the scientific conferences where we have shown that the mental fitness diet improves blood sugar balance, right? You don't want just low blood sugar. You don't want just high blood sugar. You want your blood sugar to fluctuate in a normal pattern after we eat the right kinds of foods, because that helps signal, fat loss. It helps signal, satiety so that you're not hungry all the time, et cetera, et cetera. So that was the long answer to the short answer being yes. Mental fitness diet helps with insulin resistance, also helps with cortisol resistance, also helps with overall mood, also helps with resilience so you can handle stress better. And so for people who are watching this who don't know what the Certified Mental Wellness Coach program is all about, just go to my website, doctalbot.com, and you can find out all about the free courses that we offer, the premium courses like the certification course, all the short videos like this and the longer videos. You can delve into this and get some information that I think can really help you. Okay? Thanks a lot, you guys. Bye-bye.